Hi, welcome back to the farm again. Now, I'm doing another video because I've made a few changes that I'd like to show you and things, and this is kind of a continuation of yesterday's video in some ways because it's just talking about the stuff I was talking about there. Well, I have got one extra bit of news to tell you all, which I'll do at the end of the video. So we'll just jump in the side by side here. Of course, this is the only modern farm that I've got of all the ones I'm playing on, hence why this one has a side by side, whereas other ones I have either two-wheeled motorbikes, trikes or quads. I'll just go down here first to the main farmyard from the house. We head up here. Now you might remember that on yesterday's video we were stacking these bales that are straight ahead of me. Just go through here. And I've finished stacking those, so if I jump the fence here, you can see I've put this electric fence in here. Now, if anyone wants to download this electric fence for FS22, it's called Pigtail Fence, is the name of the mod. And it cost me, I think from memory, about $18 to put this whole fence in. And it's quite good, because what you can do is when you've finished with the fence, so when I want to move all those paddocks, I just go into the construction mode, and I choose to demolish there, and I can demolish the fence again. So each time you put an electric fence up like that, it costs about $18 to put it up, maybe a wee bit more if you had a longer fence, a wee bit less if you had a shorter one. But you know, it's very, very little money. It's not enough to quibble about, quite frankly. And I just like to put it up because in real life I understand that the cows, if you left bales in the edge of a field that cows were in, they would chew through the plastic and start chewing the contents and all that, and I don't want that, so I put this electric fence around to stop the cows from chewing on those bales. And it's just an added bit of realism that I like to do, and it doesn't cost me much in the way of money, so I do that. Now we'll just jump back into the side by side here and head back down here again. Now the reason I do that with the fencing and things is because I like yards with I like farms with very, very tight yards and things, so I often don't have enough room in my yards to store a lot of extra bales and things. I've also put a water tap in just over here, and you'll find out in a second what that water tap is for. So if we jump back in here, so I'm just going to show you on the map first actually. If I go to the map, so what do I go? X. This blue area here is what I did own, like yesterday when I made yesterday's video. I've since bought this paddock here as well, and the reason I didn't buy one of these paddocks that's actually connected to my farm is none of these ones really appealed to me, and this one I liked a lot better, so I thought, I'll buy that one. It doesn't matter if it's slightly further down the road from the rest of my fields. I quite enjoy jumping on the roads, and if I'm in a tractor putting the beacon on, of course, when I'm on the roads. So we go down here, and this hedge just here, this is where my old farm property finishes, just there. So this paddock that's on the left of me right now I do not own. We'll head down here, and then here's the new paddock that I've bought. And what I've done, I'll just swing around here and I just can show you. So that's why I quite like this paddock. So it's got the gate coming off on the actual corner, and I thought, oh, that's quite cool. So I thought I'd buy this paddock instead. And as you can see from here, I've put in 5 polytunnels, which is what I was telling you about the other day. So these are they're covered in plastics, clear plastic. So that's why in New Zealand they're called polytunnels, because the plastic is called polythene. So it's short for polythene covered tunnel, or polytunnel for short. I understand overseas they can be called foil tunnels, but in New Zealand they're called either polytunnels or it could be called just a plastic covered greenhouse. So I've got 5 of them. 3 of them, this one and the next 2 across, all have strawberries growing in them. So those 3 all have strawberries. The last 2 have tomatoes growing in them at the moment. yeah, so I've got tomatoes and strawberries all growing. Now, I've got them on auto sell because I don't want the hassle of having to move crates all the time. They just, when you're playing 1 day months, they produce so many crates every day, you just can't keep up. Although you might recall, I did say yesterday, I don't like, in farming similar, I don't like making money for doing nothing, which is why I never put windmills on my farms, or not ones that generate income. So I just don't like making money for nothing. I like to have to do something for my farm. So at the moment, these polytunnels are the ones that only take water and nothing else. And each one took about 4 tanker loads of water. And so because I've got 5 polytunnels, I'd have to do 20 loads of water to fill them all up with water. Now I don't know at this stage how quickly they're going to use up that water. So my plan here is to see how much, because as I showed you, my water tap is down at the main farm, and so I want to have to carry the water from the main farm down to here to fill up the water for the polytunnels. But I had to do 20 trips to get them all filled up, and depending on how much water they use each day, I don't want to do 20 trips a day because that'll just be rather boring and dull. So I'll see how much water each one uses each day. Like if, let's say for example, each one uses half a tank of water per day, then I'll just leave it exactly how it is. So that would be 2.5 tanker loads of water I need to transport every day to keep these topped up. If they were using a lot more water than that, then what I might end up doing is putting some water pumps in next to the polytunnels for some of them, so that some of them I don't need to fill up each day, they just automatically fill, and then I'll leave a couple without water pumps, so I just need to fill up a couple manually and the others done automatically. So yeah, I'm just going to wait and see how much water each one uses each day to know whether I'm going to put in any water pumps or not. It's cost me, if I have a look at what my overdraft is, my overdraft was at 45,000 before I started doing this work. It's now at 145,000. So it basically cost me $100,000 to buy this paddock and put in all these polytunnels and the fencing I've put in and the painting of the ground and things like that. So yeah, it's cost me $100,000 to do this, and I suspect it would take me quite a while just for polytunnels to make that money back. But since I like trying to work my way out of debt, I'm absolutely fine with that. Now this paddock's actually a lot bigger than just this big area, but I thought I'd start off with 5 polytunnels first. So I put this fence across here and put this gate in, because the gate we just came through is the only one to this paddock, and so it means I own the rest of this paddock here as well. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that at the moment. It may turn into another baling paddock that I just use for making bales from, and if it does get used for that, what I will do is I will plough the paddock up and then I will replant the grass seed, because I know that planted grass seed tends to do better than just grass that's already on the map sort of thing when you buy a field. Then again, I may turn it into a cow paddock and have some more cows in there. I'm just not certain yet, so at the moment I'm just leaving it doing absolutely nothing, and we'll make a decision later on about what to use this rest of this field for. So if I just go back to the map for a second, as you can see, so the bit that's green here, and it shows as green because I've painted on all that ground, so that's the bit of the field I've actually used, and this here, field 49, that's the rest of the fields I haven't done anything with yet. So yeah, I'm reserving judgment what I'm going to do with that. It's going to be one of 3 things. I'm either going to remove this fence line here and maybe put it further along and put in some more polytunnels, depending on how much they make each day and how much water they use each day. I may put in more polytunnels, or I may turn this into another cow paddock, or I may turn it into another mowing paddock. So it'll be one of those 3 things that I end up using it for, but I'm just not sure which one of those 3 at this stage. Okay, so we'll go back down to the main farm, and then I will show you the other thing that's actually not on this farm, but that I'm going to share with you all. So it's a bit of a laugh and thing, so just shut that up again. So yes, that's my new expansion to the farm, is that field there with all the polytunnels on it. And I've never ever really done commercial polytunnels like that in the game before, so it's all new to me as to how much work it takes in terms of keeping the water filled up and in terms of how much money it makes me. So we shall see. But I'm looking forward to finding out. So I'm just going to put the side by side back in the shed again. Okay. There we go. Kill that. Okay. And close the garage door. Okay, now the other thing I was going to show you, which I've got to kind of go out of the game for, I'm just going to save first. Actually, before I save, let's just put the time back to ×2, which is where I want it. Yep. So now I can save. Okay, I saw a couple of pictures on Facebook. So I only joined Facebook I don't know, about a month ago. So I'm very, very new to Facebook, and I only joined it because of one of the clubs I belong to. I had to join it for that club. So otherwise, I really don't like Facebook, and I wouldn't have joined it otherwise. But since I had to join it, I joined a couple of MX5 owners clubs, and I saw a picture on Facebook yesterday, and I thought, that looks brilliant. And I showed it to my wife, and she said, that is absolutely stupid. In fact, I think her exact words were, 55, you're about to turn 55. I have obviously absolutely no idea what she meant by that, but anyway, she thought it was absolutely stupid. And I've shown these pictures around to a few people, and it seems to me that about 96% of the people I show agree with my wife and say this is really, really stupid, and only 4% of people that I've shown it to say, hey, that's actually really, really cool, I like that. So I'm going to share the picture sort of thing, but I'm going to show you something first. So the first picture I'm going to show you, if I go in here, sorry, not in there, in there. Okay, so when I bought my car, my wife's car is the same, the interiors on them is completely black, the whole interior. So what I did is I got some vinyl wrap, and this is the kind of vinyl wrap you normally use to wrap the whole body of a car. And see, this bit that's red on my dashboard here is normally gloss black, and all the rest of the interior is matte black, except for that one gloss black bit. So I wrapped both my car and my wife's car in this red vinyl wrap, which matches the bodywork, just to spruce up the interior a bit, because basically the whole thing was black, except for a wee bit of silver chrome on the gear lever and a chrome ring around the gear lever, some chrome rings around these vents, and the little chrome spokes on the steering wheel. Otherwise, basically the whole interior is all black, or chrome around the instruments. So I put that red vinyl wrap on that bit of the dash there, just to brighten the whole thing up a wee bit. And my wife loved it, so I did it to hers as well. And it actually makes it look like that bit of the dashboard is made of metal, which it's not. It's all plastic, but it looks metal. And of course, you can also see I've got the little MX5, the cartoon version of it. I can't really zoom in, or it gets too blurry. I've got that on the dashboard of the car. But anyway, on Facebook yesterday, I saw these floor mats. And I said to my wife, I love these. And she said, no, just no, these are stupid. But so she was most distraught when I went on to Trade Me last night. And Trade Me is basically New Zealand's version of eBay. So it's where you can buy and sell second-hand items, okay? And so I went onto eBay, onto Trade Me, which is our version of eBay, and I bought a floor covering. It's a floor covering that in New Zealand is very, very common, and it's quite possibly very common in the States as well. And everyone who's got a son would have had one of these mats for their floor, I'm sure. So what I've done is I've bought one of these mats, and I'm getting it delivered. I'm going to cut it up and make floor mats for my car out of it. My car already has the original floor mats in it, so I can use the original floor mats as a template. And I think this mat that I've got coming will probably be big enough to do 4 floor mats out of it. So if my wife changes her mind and decides that actually they do look quite cool when she sees them in person, then she'll be able to have a set of the same mats for her car. and if she doesn't change her mind, then I'll just have them in mine. But I would be interested to hear what people think of these. So that, yeah, this is made out of a rug that's designed for kids to, drive their Hot Wheels cars on, sort of thing. But I think they look really cool. I'm going to get mine trimmed in red rather than black to, again, go with the body of the car and to brighten up the whole car a wee bit. But I just thought they looked really awesome. Now, I would agree with my wife that those floor mats and, say, a boring old, run-of-the-mill Toyota Corolla or something like that would just look stupid. But I think in such a unique car like this, I think they look pretty cool, personally. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to make. As soon as this mat arrives, I'll take it into a carpet place, find out how much to get it professionally trimmed, and I'll be able to get them cut to exactly the right size and shape by using my original floor mats as a template for it. So the thing is that my car, although it's 19 years old, it's very, very low kilometres, and it's very, very original condition. Like, it's mint in every way. So I don't want to do anything to my car that's irreversible. I've changed the radiator oil because it had quite a long one, so I put a very short stubby one on there instead, but that's the screw on. I've done that red on the dashboard that I just showed you, which is stick on vinyl so it can be taken off again. And there's floor mats, of course. I can take them out and I can put the original ones back in again, should I want to, for originality's sake one day. But yeah, I just thought they looked really cool when I saw the one trade me, so I decided that I was going to make a set for my car, and my wife thinks they look absolutely stupid, so I'd love a bit of feedback on what people that are watching think of these floor mats, whether they agree with my wife that they're absolutely stupid, or agree with me that they look pretty cool. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to discuss, was my floor mats and my polytunnels. So I will now call that a day for this video. Thank you very much. Bye.